Banners.
Banners. Yeah, we got a chameleon banners and a Hans. Oh, we are live.
Hello, hi.
Ladies
Hello.
and gentlemen. I have Hans joining us from Belgium. Hans, how are you?
Oh, fun. Thank you, Will. Thank you. Thank you for the invitation.
Well, thank you for joining us. And just so everybody knows, English is not Hans' first language.
No.
And so if we have some issues, we got, I don't even have my Google Translate, whatever. We'll work through it.
The most it will be fine. The most I understand.
Yeah, we'll be fine. If not, then I know Bart is watching. We'll be watching. And also Martin from Czechoslovakia is watching right now. So hello. Tell us in the world where you're at. I'm in Seattle, and then Hans is in Belgium. And where exactly in Belgium are you?
I live in a small town in the middle of Brussels and Antwerp, right in the middle.
Oh, wow.
So it's about 30 minutes to Antwerp, 30 minutes to Brussels, and I'm in the region of Flanders. And my main language is Dutch, in fact. So that's what I speak in daily life. A little bit French.
And you're unique because are you a dog? You don't do dog work as a primary source of income.
No. In my daily life, I'm a service technician. So
a repairman. We call them repairman here in America, yes. Like service, but appliances like
yes,
air conditioner.
No, more of kitchen equipment. So I work for a German brand, and I fix machines every day. And
Erno says Hans. And hello, Amy Feltz is from Dallas, Texas, and she says hello as well. Anybody, if you're joining us, type in where you're watching us from. This is a worldwide podcast, and it's so cool to see all the corners of the world that this reaches, and so many dog professionals and people that are just passionate about their dogs, right? And so, so you're an appliance repairman, and but you are also a Napopo Gold.
Yes. So how I did become a member of the dog world, I will explain it like that a little bit. I grew up into dogs, between Malinois. And the reason is I have two brothers who did, and one brother that still do, ringsport, Belgian ringsport.
Okay.
And they are a little bit older than me. So when they started to train dogs at 15, 16 years, I've been born because they are 15 and 16 years older than me. And at the first year...
You're the baby. You're the baby.
Yes. And the first year, they started with obedience class for 1 year. I hear the stories because, I don't know. And then afterwards, after that 1 year, they started to go to a ring sport club close by. 30 minutes, 40 minutes with the bike, because they were 15 and 16 years. And they drive to the club with the bike, with a small trailer. And the dog was in the trailer. And then they drove to the club, in fact. And when I was 4 or 5 years, I think, I joined sometimes, time to time, my older brothers to the club. And from that time, in fact, I'm also going to the club and visiting. And I got my first dog when I was about 10 years. And my first dog was 12 years. He was older than me. And it was my older brother, his old competition dog. So that dog trained me, in fact.
That's so funny, Hans, because so a little bit about me, my whole family, all girls. So I was the only boy out of all these girls, and I just wanted a friend, right? And so I said, I want a dog. I want a friend. I want somebody to hang out with. And then all of a sudden, I'm around 8 years old, and they bring a new dog, and it's my grandparents' old dog. It's like 14 years old. And he's
Yeah.
like, here you go. Here's your new dog. And so I get it. You know, it's you just kind of inherit, what we call hand me down.
It's
Right?
something similar somehow.
Yeah. Except
And
Malinois is not the same as my Squeaky was little black, probably 20-pound dog, you know.
yeah. Oh, well, yeah. The first dog, his name was Kim, and it was also a Malinois. And the dog,
Malinois are raised around you, right? That's where the breed was invented, or
well, we live close to. I lived now I moved, but that moment I lived like 15-20 minutes from Mechelen.
and that's what Malinois is, right? Is Mechelen.
Yes, Mechelen. Mechelaar, in fact.
Mechelaar, okay.
Mechelaar, yes. Or Mechelse herder.
Okay.
So, in fact, the Malinois was a dog for poor people because it was not the nicest and the prettiest and the fanciest dog that there was. And my parents didn't like dogs, but they had a company a little bit, and they wanted a dog to protect the
deterrent.
And the yard and things like that. So then my brother said, okay, now we need to take care. And for me also, when I was then 10 years old, I had to feed him, I had to clean the kennel, I had to take care about the dog because my brothers would not do it and my parents would totally not do it. So I had to do it. If I didn't feed him, nobody would do. So in fact, it was good.
Yeah, it teaches responsibility. And often when I hear parents here in America, they say, we want to get a dog for our child. I have to remind them, look, this is your dog. Because a lot of times the children aren't going to step up to the plate once the dog is there and they see the work that needs to be done, the daily maintenance, the cleaning up, the feeding. It's not fun, but doing what's right.
It's necessary.
It is very necessary to have a good relationship and a healthy animal. And so you get the 12-year-old dog, you're 10 years old.
And I trained a little bit with him because he was my teacher. And then, you start to do things. And of course, I didn't knew what I was doing, totally not. And I always went with my brother then to the club, and he had quite a big influence at me somehow. Also, I didn't like to go to school, so he could punish me with not going to the club and things like that. And so it was a little bit my motivation, and we still train together. So that's nice. And
I think that speaks to a deep-seated passion, right? Even as a child, you were so enamored with this sport, right? The relationship with the dog. You were excited. Or was it just time to be a goof off and have fun?
I think I was very interested in why do dogs do things, and maybe still now also
to better their own situation.
Now I know that. That time I didn't know that.
It's in my head. Like, why does a dog do?
And the sport, that time I also didn't knew, but it's a very nice sport. And that time I also didn't not knew how difficult it is, and so on. But it was nice to be around dogs, and we had a little training place at our house. And it was a nice time. And then afterwards, I was the youngest guy from the club, in fact. Then they put me in the decoy suit, and at the first moment, it was not really a success, honestly.
I bet. They're like, Hans, run.
But afterwards, it turned out in a good way. So, and then you
trial by fire, man.
Yeah, somehow, and you start to do some apparently good things, and then That's how I started, in fact, with dog sport, and it's still a big part of my life. But my main job is a fixer of machines.
Well, and the dog, that Malinois machine too. That's a machine. It has to have the on button and the off button. That's what I tell people. The off button is very important as well.
Yeah.
And sometimes, but
often the biggest problem, I think, the off button.
Listen to that, folks. Often the biggest problem is the off button, because these dogs are go, 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 and they would be happy to do that 100% of the time, but that's not the way life is with human being, right?
No, that's also with me. My dogs do not live in the house. That's a little bit different. It's also a different, little bit another culture, perhaps. So my dogs are in the yard and outside.
Yeah. Well, it's a working dog too. It's a different relationship, and just like with Bart in the clubhouse, none of the dogs are allowed at the school. Like all the dogs are in their areas, and the humans have their areas. And there's some areas that the dog and human do not intermingle. Is only human, and is no dogs is allowed, and it's important, I think, especially because I'm a pet dog trainer, and a pet dog trainer sometimes allow way too much freedom, or a pet dog owner allows way too much freedom, and in doing so gives the dog a false sense of their purpose in the world, and a false sense of entitlement as well, because the dog feels like they are royalty, right? And so then we have a lot of problems where a lot of times too the dog just wants to be a dog, and the dog is part of the earth, and they love the earth, and they love to hang out there. And I don't tell people, don't believe me. I just watch the animal and have them show me. And so yes, it is a different world, but it's also different expectations.
I think somehow, yes.
Absolutely. And different relationship. I think that the working dog world a lot of times has a more thorough relationship, and the fulfillment that is, I don't know, gives that dog that strong purpose. And that's why I talk to so many working dog people, and as a pet dog trainer myself, we can borrow from each other and figure this out, and same thing with the pet dog world with the working dog people. And so was Bart a well-known name when you were a kid, or how did
well, when I was a child, my brother competed also, and Bart competed also. And sometimes they met each other on competitions, and my brothers know him already a longer time. And I was a child, so I was watching. That's it. And then also I went to the competitions that were in his club, the Dances for Malinois competitions. And I remember when I was a kid, I was also the times there with my brother, of course, watching the competitions. So, and it was very impressive. And now it's even more impressive because, that was a long time ago. And now I understand how big it was, in fact.
Yeah. What you were seeing, you don't realize at the time, but as you look back, you're like, wow, okay.
Yes, it's unbelievable. And then, I still was not at this club, in fact, and I was in another place and interested in other ways, I think. And you start to search, you do other stuff, and then also I went on seminars and often in Germany, in Holland. France also, and you start to watch there also at the club and get connected. And then after a while, I've been a club member, or we are club friends, and we are club members from the same place.
You and Bart are?
Yes.
Okay.
And I also went to the school then. It was quite nice story because it goes over a long time, in fact.
Yeah, get into it. What I'm doing is I forgot that I haven't shared this yet, so now I'm sharing this. And if you guys are watching this, hit that share button. Let's get some more people watching this. And so, yeah, tell me about the story about the school. And I think that's Bart. And Bart was like, "I want you to talk to Hans." Remember when I told you that a long time ago? I'm like, "Hey man, I'm calling you because Bart wants me to call you." And Michael was the same way. She was like, "You need to have Hans on." Hey, there's Duke. Duke's here. Hey, Duke. Hi, Hans. Long time no see. So you met Duke, but when Duke was back in Belgium, huh?
A very long time ago, yeah.
Yeah, I love Duke.
Like 4 years, perhaps?
Maybe even longer.
Yeah, could be. Yeah, a bit younger.
Yeah, but and so you what started the process? You were like, I want to learn from this guy. I want to, and Michael too, or is it was what did that look like? Because that's what I remember them telling me. You need to ask him about how he came to Nui Popo and what that entailed for him.
Well, we were club friends, and we start to train, or we train together. And then there was the Nepopo school, but of course I had a normal job, and I was thinking, I really want to do that, but I have a normal job, so in my life, would it be a difference? And I was so surprised, and it's a big difference. So you go much deeper in all the topics, and it's
you experienced Nepopo too. Yourself.
Yes.
And it's hard to explain how you do that. You have to do it. You don't just like hard to explain, and mastering the system too. It takes time. Once you get it, it takes time to soak into your brain, and you're just like, whoa.
Yes, it takes a lot of time, and it's like you see always the same movie, and still you see a different movie, and more and more you will take in your mind. More and more you will adapt, and it took, maybe it's about me, but it took me a long time, in fact.
Well, especially for
it's not bad. It was good, or it is good that it took a long time.
Well, and I didn't know what to expect either when I went to the school. And Gail Lucy says, just pretend like you don't know anything. Pretend like it's a brand new experience, and that's what I recommend for people to do. Just because it's pretty mind-blowing experience, and I highly recommend it for any professional, even pet dog trainers. It doesn't matter. It's a working dog, pet dog. Why does a dog do? It's a sport dog, and you just also have a toolbox that, as a pet dog trainer, that if they want to do some sports, we can go there as well and get the enthusiasm, or as Bart likes to call, Michael and Bart like to call, the heart and soul, right? And
yes.
So, and that's it. How many dogs do you have now?
The moment I have two. One little one from about 8 months, and then one older one from 6 years and a little bit. But he's retired. He don't have to do anything. He can enjoy his lazy life. I will say it like that. Lazy life.
Nice relaxation,
Yes.
Well, I think that what you were saying about watching a movie and then seeing the same movie but seeing different things.
Yes.
Right. That's like gives you different eyes and different ears.
Yes.
To view the relationship.
And also, it's interesting because you meet a lot of different worlds, different people, different pet dogs, sport dogs, other sport dogs, and it's the same but so different, in fact. I
And
cannot.
same, well,
better.
different cultures too, you know, just like you say with my dogs are outside, my dogs are, you know, there's different ways that people train. There's different cultures, you know, India, we have Allah from Lebanon joining us. We have people from all over the world, St. Louis, New York, Belgium, England, Dallas, Texas, Czechoslovakia, so Czech Republic. We have, you know, and it's so cool. And this right here will show you the worldwide network that is watching us as we speak right now.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
For me, it's the first time also that I do these things, and yeah.
But it's good. I mean, it's good because you know that you're in a network of people that ideally we are for the benefit of that animal and understanding the relationship with this animal thoroughly, right?
Yeah. No. It's nice to speak with like-minded people, because then you get a little bit further also.
That's right. You don't have to waste your time with all the...
No, you can build. It's building. You go up. So that I like also.
I like that too. I like the way you put that, because, and it's like this foundation, and it's also a brain trust, and how do we help each other? Don't forget the Irish, Bill. How can I forget the Irish?
Hi, Jim.
Jim, yeah, hey, Jim. Yeah, and it's, I mean, it's a pretty cool thing, man. And I think that that's what we need. We have so many differences, especially, I don't know how in England or in America is, or excuse me, I know how America is. I don't know how Europe is. We speak the same language. That's right. We all speak the same language, right? So we kind of come into the relationship with the baseline understanding, or a foundation understanding. And what do we build on? Foundation, right?
Yeah. No, we can speak more dog together. We can. It doesn't mean that you, or that everyone need to agree, but you can. That's not necessary. But you can build, and it's the same with training wise with the dogs. You can build, and you start from nothing. But somehow you get connection together. Somehow you speak the same language. It's the same with the people also. With like-minded people, it's easier.
Well, I like it because we bring the dogs in and we work the dogs, and the dogs show you, right? And that's it, man. If you have somebody that is claiming to be an expert at something, I would like to see outcome that proves that they know what they're doing, right?
And explain.
And be able to explain. But a lot of people can be able to explain
without doing it,
but they can't do it. You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense?
Of course.
And so there are nuances, and there are variables. So human, dog, environment, those are three variables that are always changing, right? And the human, the individual, the dog as an individual is unique, the human unique, and the environment, the situation that's going on. And so you have to be able to reason and have an eclectic knowledge base that you can deduct and be able to find a solution for this particular situation that is unique, right?
That
makes sense. And that's it.
Yeah, sorry.
No, I was saying, and that makes sense. And that's why watching these guys work the dogs, and not only that, but having dogs come in from all around the country and saying, what issues are we dealing with? And watching before your eyes those issues being met head on, addressed, and solved.
No, right? It's in my world also, it's interesting. Often I meet people that speak a language that I don't understand, but they still have a dog that I speak a little bit his language, so he will tell me, and that's often very interesting also. And then
that's what led me to Bart and Michael. their dogs, watching those dogs and watching those dogs speak.
Yeah, analyzing and thinking about it, and they will explain it afterwards. And that's also quite difficult if you do not speak the language and there is a third person that need to translate, because often, yeah, you catch the moment, you speak, but then it's too late. So that's a very difficult time. However, yeah, after a while, it will work out. The dogs and the people, they bring it all together somehow.
Well, and that's why repetition's the mother of learning. You have to go over and over and over. You have to study over and over and over, just like with the dogs. We put them through the situation over and over and over. And so they know the right answer. And then through the experience, we find the right answer as well.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that some of these dogs are crazy psychopaths.
That's also true.
Yeah.
We need to think, is it to the dog or is it to the person that's behind?
Right. Well, but it's also, it keeps you on your toes, man, you know. And so you, when you did go to Nepopo,
Yes.
I mean, people, it's not a cheap school.
No.
You know, and that's what people need to realize is that, look, it's worth every penny of it.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
But you know, that's another aspect of this, is that it takes some commitment, not just time, but financial commitment as well.
Uh-huh.
And but now, how many times have you gone through the school, Hans?
One time.
I think, but you grew up with the, you know, this stuff, and you're, you know.
Well, we trained quite a lot, yes, because we are club members also. But normally, yeah, this year I would go back also. That was not possible due to what happens in the world. So if there is a possibility, I will go. I will go back, because I'm 100% sure that again I will see new things, and yeah, you always see other things, other dogs, other people, and just my job to catch moments.
Well, it's also, I like that there's no finish line.
No. And that's something that I learned in my sport that I do. There is also no finish line. You can train and do a lot of repetitions, and then there is always something new that show up, and it's a never ending sport, in fact, a never ending game, and that's quite interesting also with the link sports.
A never ending conversation too.
No, indeed.
You know,
it's yeah. And it's the same with dog training. Today you see very flashy dogs, nice. Tomorrow you need to have to work a dog that is totally not flashy. There you need to make him nice. So it's also necessary to put again your feet on the ground and as a wake up call. We have all types of animals or dogs, and yeah.
Well, I think that it's very important too to keep your eye on the big prize, which is a confident dog. And one of the biggest issues that I see in the pet dog world is tough. The dogs are not tough.
Mm-hmm.
They crumble.
Mm-hmm.
They crumble, and they react and go crazy if somebody that they do not know enters a room.
Mm-hmm.
To me, that's unacceptable, right? We have to be tough and be able to or, you know, this lady the other day, this dog, she was at the store, and she's holding this dog. The dog is going crazy. And I wear a dog training vest. And she saw that I was a dog trainer. And she says, I can't get the leash on my dog. And I say, why is that? And she says, she hates it.
Yeah.
And I said, well,
but I think that's the same in every world, or every sport, or every pet dog world, everywhere.
a huge part that is missing, that I took away as like, this is what I'm working on, like toughening. How do we get the human being to view this in a beneficial light, that they can build this relationship, just like we were saying, we build, right?
Yes.
We build up, we make them confident instead of and if we can't build them up, and if they fall down right away, then our foundation is not good.
No.
And that's my biggest takeaway as a pet dog trainer from Napopo, is huge cornerstone missing out of pet dog world is toughening your dog, or just being able to keep your eye on the big prize, which is confident, calm dog, and being able to get through that messy middle, where that change, right, where that conversation might get a little bit.
I think it's also a big part of the school. The first of all, try to get a conversation with your dog. Teach him a language, and also to build and to take time to build your dog.
That's
and
right.
to have patience to make one step, another step, next step, and then afterwards finalize everything. I think that's a very big.
And don't poison it. You know, that's what Bart, when I was doing scent discrimination, he's like, shut up. He's like, he's telling me, no, don't talk.
Let him do.
That's exactly what he says to me. He's like, Bill, what does he say?
Often the dogs work better if nobody is involved somehow.
That's right. Well, I got somebody, as I pull it, or as I got a delivery, I think I just pulled up. Hold on. Okay, they're good. Yeah, let the dog do. Bill, yes. Let the dog do. Let the dog learn. Let the dog get tough. Let the dog experience it for themselves, you know?
And make mistakes is also a part of it. And that's also what a lot of people cannot see, or don't want to see, or don't want to feel that the dog make a mistake. I learned also.
Hold on, I'll be right there. Hey guys, I'm right here. Thank you. I got a dog locked in the back bedroom there too. So mistakes. Sorry, Hans.
Yeah, I think mistakes are necessary. Very necessary. Of course, when there is always a mistake, it's also not good. So you need to give them a little bit air also, and again the hope. And that's something also that Bart and Michael explain very nice in the school, that it's okay to make a mistake, but you need to make hope and will to work to build again.
That's right. That's what Erno says, best lesson in his opinion. And that hope, right?
Yes.
That hope that keeps you going. That hope that not only that, but it also drives that motivation, right?
Yes.
And then we have confusion, and then we have frustration.
Yes.
And frustration builds creativity, right? But frustration can also be messy.
Yeah, also not everyone can handle that, but that's another story, of course. But I do think from a lot of frustration you can canalize the behavior more again, and then you get again more motivation.
That's right. Well, and being able to capture and put the dog away, you know, and being able to recognize when training needs to stop.
Yes, yeah, we all want more and more and more, and that's also not good. But it's something that human, I think it's in our nature.
Expectations, you know, we paint the picture in our brain, and it's not happening out here, so we keep on work.
Yes.
But pretty soon we get so far away that we need some time. Sometimes we need to take 2 steps back in order to take 10 steps forward, right?
Yes. Yeah, and at the end, it will always happen because the dog will show us.
The dog will do. The dog will do. And not only that, but it's also understanding why a dog does, right, to better their own situation.
Yeah.
And how to use the fundamental aspects of what we know as far as positive reinforcement. And that's what everybody wants to get to, especially in the pet dog world. And that's where we have what we call here in America treat trainers.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Where they just say treat everything. Give a treat, give a treat, give a treat, give a treat. And then pretty soon you have a dog that when you don't give them a treat, guess what they do?
No, it in the sports it's also, or it's totally the opposite way. And there it's only no, 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 no. Everything is bad. They don't explain what is good. So something will be the best.
And look at the relationship. And what I like to do, because people all the time, they're like, I don't know, man, it's a dog. And I'm like, well, riddle me this. Let's think about a situation in human world, because we're all human beings talking about another species, right?
Yes.
And so then I asked them, what if I was given everything and didn't have to work for anything in my whole life, and every single thing was just handed to me? If I say I want that, I got it. If I want that, I get it. Want this, I get it. I throw a fit, the world comes to make sure that I calm down. And then versus if I was a kid and was beaten and told no a lot and locked in a closet or something like that, like would that affect who I am today? Would that affect the person that you see in front of you? And just so they can kind of get an idea on how this would affect behavior, and like rich kids, what's this say? Can you read that? Topper Hans the Quiet Man. What's the topper? Can you see that?
Yeah, toppertje.
Toppertje.
How to explain that? Something good.
Okay. Toppertje. And so I compare the one with the kid that has been given everything, right? Mm-hmm. So they aren't tough, right? No. They're not tough. As soon as they get a girlfriend that breaks up with them, they're trying to commit suicide or some stupid shit, where I've literally had friends that never ever struggled in their life. And when some big monumental life experience comes their way where they have to be tough for, they collapse. Mm-hmm. Same with the dogs I see, right? Anytime a situation comes up, if they've never ever experienced how to figure it out and get through on their own in a certain way, then they collapse and they become that reactive, and it becomes a manic.
And you make them happy with if you work with the two ways, you make them happy with the very, very small stuff, So
well, and with the rich kid too, they could be, writing checks that their butt can't cash.
Also,
yeah, they could be out there like thinking that they're a lot more than they are, and getting themselves into trouble. And so that's a lot of this stuff can happen when boundaries aren't set, mm-hmm. when too much freedom is given, mm-hmm. when structure isn't realized, right? The importance of structure, and also just that knowing the value of being tough and having to deal with the problems that life will face us.
Yeah.
Right? And then on the same end, with the people that go crazy with the discipline, a lot of time was the same, but opposite. Like the dog is shut down instead of writing checks that the butt can't cash. The dog just would rather stay silent. Yeah. Right. So they're not operating to their fullest potential as an individual. Right. Yeah. Then we have animosity that might develop between the handler and the dog. Mm-hmm. That relationship is not cohesive, is not good, mm-hmm. Is bad. The dog does not trust the mm-hmm. handler. Okay. And in a situation where the dog might feel or get to a point where they lash out and attack or climb the line. And so that's the importance of understanding the both sides of the spectrum of too much love, not enough toughness, and too much toughness and not enough, right? Not enough reward. And
it's the same in with people with dogs, sport world or pet world. It's just the same. And because of that, I really like this way of working dogs. For you can make them happy with nothing almost, and if they are in the system, and also you make them happy with their the wanted behavior that we want and that they like. So that's a very mind-blowing thing, in fact, or that was, I will say that when I start to understand, it was very mind-blowing.
Me too.
So the school was for me still a very impressive moment that I could join.
A lot of the stuff that I learned in school was opposite of what I learned as pet dog trainer.
Yeah, I can understand that.
Where we see what the dog is doing, and we're like, good, structure that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where in pet dog, it's like we see what the dog is doing and knock that shit off. They say no.
Immediately,
instead of being like, hey, there's something we can work with here. There's something that we can use to build motivation in that dog to take our communication level, to make that more real. And not only that, but to take our relationship and to make that more fulfilling for both parties.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I see.
In the past, I had also a little bit the same experiences in previous dog training places where I was as a kid. It was the opposite way of thinking. I don't say that all the trainers were bad trainers. Totally not. There were good trainers, but they could not explain me. And with a theoretical explanation, I think you can again build more and build further.
Well, and not only that, but you speak to more people too.
Also,
a lot of this stuff too is intuitive. Like people feel like it's intuitive.
Mm-hmm.
And to be able to not only explain it, but explain it in a way that's easy to understand, and a way that you can actually make and take actions on your own with your relationship with your own dog is key too. And the other thing that I learned too, man, is the clicker.
Mm-hmm.
I've been talking to Michael and Bart. We're going to be going live again here pretty soon. But we're going to be having some more NAPO students and just talk about some people's experiences. But I never used a clicker. I knew what it was and I've used it, but I thought that it was I kind of poo-pooed it.
Okay.
Because I thought it was something that I'd always have to carry, that I was just like another layer of inconvenience, you know?
Yeah.
But now I have clickers everywhere, man. You should see, but when I click my dogs, they fly to me, you know? And not only that, but now that I've had puppies and being able to clicker train those puppies from day one, and it's in there throughout their whole of their life.
Yeah. They will never lose it anymore.
No. And it's pretty cool to be able to hand somebody a dog or sell them a dog, and always be able to be like, hey, did you try to click that? You know, or be able to call them up and have kind of a baseline understanding or a wireframe that's already in this puppy.
Yeah, I also like marker training a lot, because also you can catch moments. You can say, okay, that's something that I need.
Yeah.
And then with a little bit of patience, it will come again.
Well, in marker training, if anybody's watching this that doesn't know what it is, How do you explain marker training?
Well, first of all, my English is very easy and simple. So my explanations are also often quite very simple.
Actually, that's why I wanted to ask, because I want to hear, because sometimes we get so technical, right?
Well, what I do is I have different kind of markers. I use also a clicker, but I also use my tongue. Yes.
Dang, man.
Because that I have with me. And
There we
go. Almost. Well, when I have a moment, and I explain that also, a moment that you really like, but I think often the people need to start with learn to read the dogs. When you have a moment that you really like, you mark it, and then you can do something with it. Of course, I also explained first that they need to do the do the charging of their markers.
That's right.
And that's something that a lot of new people do not really understand, and that's normal. If you don't know, I can understand that.
That's what I'm dealing with my pet dog people. You know, I tell them to charge up the charge up that clicker, and then I get on a video with them, and I'm like, let me see, because when you shoot the when you hit the marker, is it obvious when a dog is charged?
Yeah. They make
very easy to see.
Very nice reflection.
They lose their mind. They're like, pay me, you know.
Yes. So I think often it's also a start with don't explain, but watch the dog, catch the moment, catch what you want, and do not wait on final exercises or wait on the end of the exercise or the behavior.
That's right. Well, and don't get too specific either.
Yes.
You know, a lot of times the dog will experiment, and they might do something that you can capture and mark and be like, hey, I like that. And it is something that you might not even expect it at all.
Yeah.
And that's why I like
often.
The reason I like it is because the operant aspect of this.
Mm-hmm.
Because as a dog trainer, and especially as a dog trainer that never used clicker, do you know what I would have to do? Had to make a mini me inside you.
That's but you have to repeat again.
So I have to make you into me.
Okay.
Right? Yeah. Does that make sense now?
Now
and so, but whenever I leave, guess what? So does the training, because they're not me. And so the operant, something that was able to give the dog clear and not personal, right? It's not me, it's the noise. And I remember when I was with my students, I was showing them the click, click, click. And I said, who's ready to try this? And then we had a couple volunteers. I had them come up and explain, and they were watching what I did. But it was so cool to watch the dog do while I left the room.
I can imagine.
You know, the training did not go with me. The training stayed where it needed to stay. And that's where I think that it's important, especially for pet dog people, to understand well, first off, we have to understand the difference between operant versus classical. Mm-hmm. Right? How do you explain that?
First, I want to, I also think that people need to dare to make mistakes. And that's something that also...
we need to be vulnerable. We need to...
And I have to say, in the past, I was a little bit the same. I didn't want to... like with Michael, I didn't want to speak a lot English because I was afraid to speak English. and that's so I can make self-reflections also, and you learn from it.
Well, you learn from that struggle too.
Also, and yeah,
it toughens you up too.
Yeah,
just like when you were like, I don't want to do a live stream, Bill. I'm good. No English for me.
It's the same. It's not my favorite thing, honestly. But when it runs. And yeah.
Well, and I commend you for stepping out of your comfort zone. And this just shows you not only the type of person that you are, but also the type of network that we are. We kind of push each other to do a little bit more uncomfortable things, and so we may learn not just as individuals, but as a whole group, as as people, because you do have a lot to teach us from your perspective and from what you've learned and from what you've grown up. And language is a hurdle, but there are ways to get over those hurdles. And I think that the best thing to do is to
just doing.
Just do it. That's just exactly it.
Do it, yeah. And that's also something that I learned from Michael and Bart, in fact, that
dream, dare,
and do it.
That's a big saying that Michael and Bart have: dream, dare, do. And then we look around and we have Jackie, who has a wonderful, oh man, you got to come here to America. Have you ever been here?
I've never been there, no. It was the plan, but Corona didn't want it. So.
Oh yeah, we got to go hang out, Hans. Let's go to Vegas. I want to take Hans to Las Vegas. We'll have fun, dude.
So, no. If everything is a little bit okay again.
Yeah. Then you'll come in and we'll go party in Vegas.
Then we're gonna train some dogs.
We're gonna train some dogs and party. It's the same thing. I party and train dogs, but it's also, it's at the end of the day, we are in this for the dogs, right? To understand them better.
Yeah, and in my case, it was not really a plan to do these things, honestly. So. I went to technician school, and then I became a technician, and I separately I had my passion for dogs, and then somehow apparently I did something that was okay. So
well, you're doing seminars, aren't you? You're doing what's the banner behind you there? The Hans.
Yeah. So I help people. I coach people. I do my seminar thing. When you do your training, I don't do.
Do you do it mostly for working dog people?
I have a little bit different people. I have sport people from all kind of sports. I have also government people from army and police and special forces. So all working dogs, yes. Sometimes I have pet people, but not. I don't do it frequently, and not in Belgium also. That I don't do, but pet people that visit me at the seminar, that I do, of course. But it's not my main thing. No.
Okay. What do you find is like the biggest hurdle that your students, when you do these seminars, what is the biggest kind of thing that takes them a while to really get to let into their mind?
Well, first, I can say the first day for people that do not know what to expect can be quite
overwhelming,
not really difficult, but it's a little bit you need to show them, you need to explain them, and then the second day it's okay, third day it's all fine, then they are in the story.
Yeah.
But the first day is always quite not really difficult, but difficult to explain now.
a lot of material, a lot. It's like what I call drinking from a fire hose. You go up, but you get blasted with
It's too much, a little bit somehow. And of course, you need to be careful also if you do or if you work for a too long time. People also cannot absorb it, so it's also too much. So it needs to be equal and fun. Like it have to be fun for the animals. It have to be fun for the people also, for the audience.
That's exactly, and not only that, but guess what? This is the exact same situation that we put our dogs in too.
Yes.
Right, where we work them too long.
Also,
and we can see the confusion when we start to introduce them to a new concept or something that is very abstract. The dog is like, I don't know, and we just let them get, and we can see the look of bewilderment or look of confusion on human being during the class too, like, what the heck? Oh, wait, I too much, and you just keep going. And I remember after I went through gold or silver school, and I passed my test. Woo! I was like, yes. And go to the back door and just kind of like rest, relaxing for a bit, just thankful, saying a little prayer. Thank you. And here comes Bart. And he's like, how do you like that? And I was like, I loved it, man. And he was like, what you experienced what the dogs experience. You just went through it. And I just am so thankful for their style and just how they present it and how they force you to work through it.
Yes, and also with the tests, and it's nice. Not so easy for me. Not so easy because it was in English, and that was not so easy for me. But it worked out, so it's okay.
Yeah, you need to have a certain level, like 90% and above, or they do not allow you to pass, right?
Yeah.
And so expectations are very high.
And I come more from a practical school, also from my past.
Me too, dude.
A lot of letters, and I didn't see a lot of letters in my life in the past, not in school neither. So
I never went through the quadrants. I never went through, like, I did not really understand it until this school, because I've always been working hands-on with these dogs. It's just like just working with the animal, practical.
Yes.
And when I finally get through and have to explain myself, and not only explain it, but understand it thoroughly, it was very challenging. I had a friend named Adrian Forsyth, who is a very good friend, that helped me with all of that. And I'm very grateful for her, because she sat down, and she was a student as well. And we kind of figured it out in a way that that she just presented it in a way that I got it. Excuse me. And I'm very thankful for that, because it took a big weight off my chest, because, like you say, it's practical. We're used to seeing it and not explaining it in like a collegiate, or like we're teaching school, right?
Yeah, and it's in a language. In my case, it's in a language that I also understand. So I speak often about a human language.
Yes.
Not
I mean, what's this? Like, there's certain things that we can do with our body, right? That are like, if I was just sitting there like this, I'm speaking a language, right? Or if I'm sitting there like this, I'm speaking a language, like, and that's what, our body language, the space that we are between each other.
Yeah.
How fast we talk, how slow we talk, how loud we talk, how quiet we talk, right? Yeah. There's so many things.
It was nice, and I if I have the possibility, I will go again, of course.
You're gonna come to America, dude. You're gonna come to America. We're gonna go hang out, and I definitely am gonna go again. I'm just trying to figure out. It's been such a whirlwind with this COVID thing, but I hope everything goes back to normal, here pretty soon. It's definitely
Would
going to
be
be.
very nice. Yeah. Also, I think everybody's hoping that.
What do you, so do you recommend, I've been recommending for trainers that are brand new, because if I had this knowledge set when I was starting out, I would be a totally different trainer than I am today. And I think I would be a much better trainer. I'm coming to Belgium. I should come to Belgium. You're absolutely right. Let's go. We'll have fun, man. I'd love to. I gotta be there with Bart though, and Michael too. I want to go and just see. I want to see like their grounds and just where all these places that you guys are talking about, man. And not only that, but it's a very romantic idea of like visiting the original home of the Malinois, and it's I love it, man. I love finding out all this stuff and meeting people that are passionate about dogs and being part of this network.
Mm-hmm. No, for me it's also
I'm not really a big drinker. That's the thing, man, is that I have
a safe. You need to drink beer.
They don't have the marijuana legal in Belgium, huh?
No, but we have very good beer.
Okay. I'm more of a why drink and drive when you can smoke and fly type of guy, But that's just me. But whatever, man. I'll have a beer with you guys. We have weed too. Okay, good. We're good. I think it's everywhere. Just putting it out there. If I come to Belgium, I need some help from all the cops and the soldiers and stuff that we train. But I digress. Let me get back to our man Hans. So what are you up to now? Are you doing seminars? Are you starting them for 2021? Is it still pretty locked down over there?
Well, today I launched a little bit or an EPOPO camp that I'm gonna do with also an EPOPO student. Okay. In Czech Republic, but it's for September. So we hope that
planning that far away will be okay.
Hope, yes. So when they say tomorrow everything is okay, I can work again. But now it's pretty quiet because people can have a difficult time to make arrangements, agreements, time, everything. So in Europe, we are also not allowed to go away, to cross the border. Okay. So on that case, I'm a little bit stuck. But it is what it is. So it's a part. For me, it's not like I say. I have a job to do also in daytime, so it's a second job.
Yeah. Well, I think that it's something that I could see you doing more of the dog stuff. Do you ever want to breed dogs or anything, or is this basically it?
I like teaching, and I like I call it build dogs. I like to build dogs that I like a lot, but I do not. I'm not into breeding or things like that. No, totally not. Totally not.
What do you like in a dog? You say the build dogs you like. What do you like in a dog? What do you see in a dog that is like
train dogs and go further, and when they do a behavior, okay, put them in a direction for another behavior, and then next step and the next. That I like a lot. Building the dogs and that you can reach a level with. That makes me very happy.
Have you ever had a dog do something that you didn't think was possible?
Oh, that's a difficult question.
Well, I'll tell you, when I was learning dogs in a cattle, I worked at a cattle ranch here.
Yeah.
Cows, and we had 8 dogs, and one dog, Duke, like Duke Ferguson, but his name was Duke, cattle dog, Australian cattle dog, as smart as a whip. And we were out in the field, and it was wintertime, and the cows were going to give birth. They were going to have babies, And so we had to go and find all the pregnant heifers or the pregnant cows. And so we could put them in the barn because it was so cold that if they were to give birth, the babies were to die. They were going to freeze in the elements. And it was cool because I had paintball gun. So I got to shoot the cows that were pregnant with the paintball gun. That's what I like to mark them so we can separate them out. But we were missing 8 cows. There was 8 heifers that we were missing. And I remember one day my grandfather, he looks down at the dog. He says, "Duke, there's 8 of them. Go find them." That's all he said. And Duke looked up, recognition, and took off.
Okay.
And then, listen to this, like 5-6 hours later, my grandpa is like, "Oh, there's Duke." And Duke has all 8 cows, one line, walking behind them. And I remember looking at that, and my mind was blown. I was like, how is this possible? How? And that's what really started my passion. I think back to that. And my grandfather, do you know what he did when Duke did good? Spit in his hand and give it to the dog. That was the treat for the dog, was my grandpa's spit. There you go. And the dogs would fight over the spit.
Yeah.
You know, so weird. I know it's weird, but that was a time that a dog did something that I did not know was possible.
They also found their advantage.
They found their advantage, yeah, and
they had to do.
What's that?
And they had to do.
So, it blew my mind, man. It still does to this day. I'm like, what was that?
Yeah. But I'm more, like I say, in the sport world and working dogs. So it's a little bit, you give freedom to the dog, but also no freedom. Of course, you see, it's boundary freedom with the boundary. That's limited right. A little bit. But they also need to use their freedom, of course. And I like to work a lot with drives, changing motivation, and that's what I like in. I'm also very passionate about biting, and then that's nice to see and understand.
Yeah, see a dog come up with a full grip, boom, you know, and then being able to, you know, and then out.
Yeah.
Very, very, you know.
So give everything in that few moments, and then also again change drive, be calm, go again. That's more my world, honestly.
It's a very impressive world too. But like you said, it's a boundary, it's a freedom within boundaries, right?
Yes. It's life. We are also free with boundaries.
That's right. That's right. Try to go run in the middle of the highway right now and see what happens to you. You know, there's boundaries that say, nope, can't do that. We need to make sure that there's bigger considerations here than just one person's individual feeling to do what they want to do.
Yeah.
So how do people find you, Hans?
If they want to I have Facebook, Hans Verbruggen. I have a Hans Verbruggen dog training page also, and I have a website.
Is that hansverbruggen.com?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. www.
Here, I'm putting it up here in the. And then so if you're in Europe, check out Hans for seminars, Nepopo, and reach out to him. And man, this was fun, dude. I'm glad that we did this. How do you feel?
For me, it was also very nice. Yeah. Okay. You know, big thanks. And yeah, no.
My pleasure, man. And be sure to reach out to Hans, you guys, and let him know how he did. And if you have any questions for him, and I think we're going to say goodbye here. And I hope everybody has a wonderful weekend, and you know, get out there, work your dogs, but also if you're on the fence about going to this Nepopo school, I would encourage you to pull the trigger and to make the sacrifices. And is that what you recommend too, Hans?
Do it.
Do it.
Do it. Yes.
That's right. So let's say goodbye to everybody here, and then if you wait right there, I'll say goodbye to you in the studio. Okay, Hans?
Perfect.
But thank you everybody for joining us.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Share it so we can get it out far and wide. And have a great weekend. We'll talk soon. And I'm getting Bahesha back on. We had some technical difficulties, but I'm in contact with her. We're going to be talking about the critical imprinting period in puppies. And then we're going to be working on some service dogs for her organization, that abled veteran. And super live, you guys. See you too, Hans.
You, Jim.
Amy says thank you. Erno says thank you. And cool. So bye, everybody.
Thank you. Bye-bye.